Gamla stans förskoleenhet så har vi kommit överens. Alla vi som
In our preschools, we have agreed to work with what we call teachings for the whole life spectra, which means that everyone should have access to everything that life has to offer, to all activities, games, feelings, to be allowed to play different roles and be different at different times. So our signum is that differences are a strength.
Vi är noga med vårt språkbruk.
We are particular with our way of talking, and this is because we, as adults, need to use words, sometimes new words, which are more inclusive than some traditional words. Friends is an expression we use a lot, which also brings that the children think of each other as friends, that we as adults think of each other as friends and treat each other as such. So friends is a very useful word, we think. The children at our schools use words and expressions that they are familiar and comfortable with, such as she, he, girl or boy. We never correct the children's choice of words.
Det här med språkbruket kring genusorden.
The issue around gender words such as hen is for us as adults. We need to be observant on how we express ourselves. Adults are usually very traditionally raised, so we have linked these words to a lot of stereotype ideas about what gender is. So to be free from that, we need to let go of these words sometimes.
Jag ser mig som pedagog här på förskolan, kanske inte jämt man, det är inte så jag tänker att jag är manlig förskollärare.
I see myself as teacher here at the preschool, but not always as a male teacher. It is not always relevant. What is important to me is to always be where the children are, with them.
Vi uppmuntrar alla barn.
We encourage all children to diversity in their activities. We want all children to have access to every aspect of life, to be able to try activities that one is not usually interested in or have dared to try, but also that each and everyone owns the right to their own feelings and their own interests. This is why we avoid expressions which categorizes the children, like hen is so calm, or hen is so wild, or hen is so full of imagination, or hen is so helpful, because this locks the children within a confined frame. Children often want to be what we confirm them to be, and what we expect them to be. And in doing so, we do not open up for all the possibilities that life has to offer. This is why we avoid categorizing the children, as well as ourselves and each other.
Litteraturen vi väljer och det lekmaterial vi har, de lekmiljöer vi skapar.
The literature we choose, the play material we have, and the play environments we create for the children and with the children should always be diverse. For example, when it comes to children's literature, it should treat different emotions so the children learn to recognize their own emotions. This is how it is to be angry, or this is what it's like to be sad, and what can I do about it? It is important that different ways to make a family is reflected in the books we read. This is how society looks today.
Det är viktigt att ha en god förväntan på barn, att tänka positivt kring barnen, att inte.
It is important to have good expectations on the children, to think positively about the children, not to fixate on the weaknesses, but to see to the competent child and believe that the child can do so much more, which it always can.
Om man tänker på den här utomhusmiljön som vi är nu.
Thinking about this outdoor environment where we are now, the children make do with what we have here. Contrary to an indoor environment where different materials can appeal to either boys or girls, outdoor play creates new types of games. The children mix it new in different ways. This is why we have a lot of outdoor activity at our preschools.
Jag tror att det kan finnas en rädsla hos vissa människor att vi...
I think that there might be a fear with some people that when we work with gender equal teachings, we will rob their child of something. That we will take away something from a little boy, for example, which could be associated with boyishness. That could be that he wouldn't be allowed to play with football or play with cars, or in the same way rob a girl of something that could be associated with girlishness. This is not how it is. We do not take anything away from anybody. We only add. That is how we see it. We think that the traditional teaching methods divest children of things because it steers the children into two different directions, where there is one way to be a girl and one way to be a boy. In this way, certain games, toys, colors, emotions, activities, etc. are associated depending on whether you are a boy or a girl. This is to rob the children of something, because in this way you take away the other half of all toys, colors, activities, etc. What we aim to do is to offer the children everything, so that each child should be able to choose from the whole of life spectra instead of only half, depending on their gender. And this regards toys, games, colors, emotions, literature, character traits that we ascribe to the children, expectations on the children. It concerns all aspects of life. And then, from one's own individual and not one's gender, one can choose whatever that person prefers and likes to do at that point in time. Because it also changes with time what one likes to do, is challenged by and needs.